HBO's Game of Thrones skipped over Catelyn Stark, but the books won't, and there are several theories that make her integral to the Winds of Winter. Yes, the Winds of Winter is long overdue, but George R.R. Martin is still working on the penultimate volume of A Song of Ice and Fire, and the previous 5 volumes have provided a plethora of material to examine. Based on past events, expected character arcs, and our anticipated endgame for the novel, we can analyze where Lady Stoneheart's story might be headed. To contextualize for show fans, Catelyn Stark was killed at the Red Wedding in A Storm of Swords, the 3rd book in the A Song of Ice and Fire series. Throughout the end of A Storm of Swords and A Feast for Crows, readers learn that Catelyn was dragged out of the river by Nymeria, Arya's direwolf, and then found and discovered by the Brotherhood without banners. Beric Dondarrion used the Last Kiss, which had previously been used to revive him, to give his life and bring Catelyn back. 5. Lady Stoneheart spares Jaime Lannister. This isn't where Jaime's story ends. As Lady Stoneheart, Catelyn Stark spends most of her time traveling around the Riverlands, hanging any man associated with House Frey or House Lannister in revenge for the Red Wedding. At the end of A Dance with Dragons, Brienne of Tarth lures Jaime to travel with her to Lady Stoneheart after previously being given a choice between killing Jaime or being hung. Given that the last words Robb heard were, "Jaime Lannister sends his regards," it's fair to believe she might not be too merciful to the Kingslayer. Lady Stoneheart has earned the nickname Mother Merciless, so it's difficult to imagine her letting Jaime walk without reason. There are countless theories pointing to how Jaime could escape death in the Winds of Winter's opening chapters, but the root cause for them is that this doesn't seem like his endgame. Jaime has had prophetic dreams of fighting in the Battle for the Dawn, and many believe he has to fulfill the Valonqa prophecy by killing Cersei. 4. Lady Stoneheart leads the Red Wedding 2.0. The Freys and Lannisters have it coming. Robb Stark looking stern with an image of Catelyn Stark's throat being cut at the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones custom image by Debanjana Chowdhury. The Red Wedding 2.0 theory suggests a similar outcome to Game of Thrones, where the Starks seek direct vengeance on the Freys. In Season 6, Arya returns to the twins and assassinates Walder Frey, but this could be Catelyn Stark's objective in the novels. The perfect opportunity for this would be a marriage between a Lannister and a Frey. We already saw Lancel Lannister marry a Frey in A Feast for Crows, and Davin Lannister has become the primary suspect to have his wedding ruined by Lady Stoneheart. Catelyn Stark's living purpose was to protect her family at all costs. She gives up Jaime to hopefully retrieve Sansa and Arya but dies before she can reunite with either of them. The Winds of Winter might be too soon to see Lady Stoneheart's tenure end, but it seems fitting for it to conclude with her defending her children once more. Her actions in life failed to protect them, but giving her life to allow Sansa or Arya to live seems a fitting way for her to prove herself in death. 2. Arya will give Lady Stoneheart the gift of mercy. Lady Stoneheart isn't meant to be alive. This would be a bittersweet moment, but it would show how much Arya has matured. Lady Stoneheart may pull off a few major acts of revenge before death, but this undead version of herself is unnatural and inherently terrifying. Even though Ros of Myr wasn't interested in bringing her back and has doubts about following her. If Arya were to find her mother in this state, she would be horrified to see what Catelyn has become, and it may be an apt conclusion for her to provide her with the gift of mercy. This would be a bittersweet moment, but it would show how much Arya has matured. Lady Stoneheart will proclaim Jon Snow as king in the north. Catelyn knows about Robb's will. Catelyn Stark hated Jon Snow in life and even objected to Robb Stark naming Jon as heir to the Kingdom of the North. A major factor in A Song of Ice and Fire that doesn't exist in Game of Thrones is the fact that Robb Stark has a will that only a few characters know about, including Lady Stoneheart. It's commonly believed that Robb named Jon as his heir, as this was his intention before making his final choice. I'm iffy on the theories suggesting that Lady Stoneheart will go as far as to resurrect Jon, but I can get behind her making it far enough that her knowledge of Robb's will can be a factor that benefits Jon's fate. Game of Thrones showed characters discover Jon's parentage in one way, but Howland Reed could be the answer in the books, revealing R+L=J to Lady Stoneheart, causing her to pass over the knowledge sometime before her death.